Santa laid each element and compound with care under the chemist's tree. Each child came towards it with glee. And they received zinc, hydrochloric acid, zinc chloride, and hydrogen gas. Santa appeared. Why do the girls not have the same number of presents as the boys? Santa explained that the reactants represent the girls' presents, while the products represent the boys' presents. The girls' presents were zinc and hydrochloric acid, while the boys' presents were zinc chloride and hydrogen gas. What the reactants yield the products is represented with the yield sign. A reactant is a starting substance formed in the chemical reaction, while a product is a new substance formed in a chemical reaction. And the general form is reactants yield products. When given the equation Zn plus HCl yields ZnCl2 plus H2, we will have to balance this equation due to the law of conservation of mass, which states that atoms are neither created nor destroyed. So we must balance this equation to follow the law of conservation of mass. But how do we follow this law of conservation of mass? Said the children. One child had the idea that you could add a coefficient in the middle of the equation so they would all be the same. But a coefficient cannot be placed in the middle of the equation. The oldest child insisted that you could add a subscript or two into the equation, but Santa said that you cannot add a subscript into the equation because then it will entirely change the substance of the equation and not make it the same anymore. Each child wanted to know which way was the correct way to balance an equation. Santa said you must first get your elements, zinc, hydrogen, and chloride, and put both on each side of the equation, one of the reactants and one of the products. Then you must count how many are in each side. On the reactant side, there are one of each, while on the product side, there is one zinc, 2 hydrogen, and 2 chloride. So zinc is already balanced, but how do we balance hydrogen and chloride? Well, we must have 2 hydrogen and 2 chloride on the reactant side, so we must multiply them by 2. So we will put a coefficient of 2 in front of HCl to make this equation balanced. Then we will have the same amount of presents on both sides. So the final equation is HCl yields ZnCl2 plus H2. So the girls' presents, which are the reactants, will be 2 HCl's and 1 zinc. And the boys' presents, which are the products, will be zinc chloride and hydrogen gas. So the final equation will be the same as before. Zn plus 2 HCl yields ZnCl2 plus H2. So the girls will have the exact same number of presents as the boys, 2 hydrogens, 2 chlorides, and 1 zinc. What if instead of your equation, I got 2Zn plus 4HCl yields 2ZnCl plus 2H2? Asked one of the children. It's not like Christmas at all. I remember when This equation is still right, said Santa, but you should try to reduce every single coefficient to the lowest number ratio. So by doing this, if we divide by 2, we will still get the same exact equation as said before. Zn plus 2HCl. Does this mean that everything done in chemistry must have a chemical equation or formula? No, said Santa. Mixtures and solutions are different from chemical reactions as the molecules of the substance stay the same. So there will be no need for a formula to be balanced. Does this mean we're finally done balancing and finishing the equation? No, said Santa. We should put the states of matter after each substance, because states of matter immediately follow the formula of the substance it describes. To clarify, for example, the formation of water has gas plus gas equals liquid. L represents liquid, S represents solid, and G represents gas, and AQ represents aqueous. Knowing the prefixes for the states of matter gives us the opportunity to finish our equation by putting the states of matter after each substance, which is solid, aqueous, and gas. The children thanked Santa for all the knowledge he gave them and began their Christmas.